What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. So the last couple of days I've been talking about this offseason kicking off, getting started, and me just being so hyped up, ready, and excited for these moves to start happening, for all these rumors, the speculation, everything we've been hearing, to finally start getting some news finalized, and to understand the total LCS and LEC rosters that we're actually going to be seeing in what, less than 2 weeks at the start of the summer split. But you know, nothing was coming out, and then all of a sudden yesterday we got so many stories at once. So over the course of the next couple of days, I'll be covering all the news that we got yesterday, and as more stories trickle out, I'll be covering them. I mean, it just sucks because I can't cover everything at once, obviously, but we will be getting to all the different topics and all the different stuff that's coming out. Obviously, we still have a week or two before the summer split starts, where there's probably not going to be too many crazy stories. You know, we'll do some tier lists, we'll do some predictions, but we will get to all of these stories. And the first one we're going to be talking about today is this piece put out yesterday by Fnatic. They posted this YouTube video. Bwipo unleashed from top lane. Fnatic roster swap announcement. That's what this video is going to be about today. It's a really crazy, huge story. Obviously, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, of the entire offseason. And really, when we look at the year as a whole, even with how crazy this past offseason was, one of the bigger stories of the entire year, entire 2021. So that is very, very exciting. With that being said, before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, definitely take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. I know we got that shout out from Travis Gafford yesterday, so we got a nice little bump in subscribers. I think we got like 60, 70 subscribers yesterday. That's a huge day. So let's keep running it up. Let's keep it going. With that being said, here we go. So this all started May 7th with this tweet from Wooloo, who said, rumor, according to several sources, Bwipo is rumored to be Fnatic's starting jungler next split. And right away, Wooloo was kind of getting clowned. Everyone in the scene was like, Wooloo, come on, man. Like, because he kind of has a bad rap. Like, so many people believe in Wooloo. And honestly, Wooloo has been a very, very reliable source. Look at him from this past offseason. Look at him in this summer, you know, the offseason between spring and summer. He's gotten so many stories right. He gets so many stories first. He is amazing at what he does. Has there been some stories that haven't come to fruition? Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean they were BS. It just means that sometimes talks dissolve behind the scenes, stuff like that. And has he been wrong before? Yeah, absolutely. We all have. But his track record is very, very good. Wooloo got clowned for this tweet. You know, he's like, everyone's like, oh, it's an April Fool's Day, blah, blah, blah. And that's, you know, a bunch of randoms on Twitter and Reddit and everything. But there was even people at like Riot, like casters, LEC employees and stuff that were kind of laying into Wooloo a little bit. And then, it had to feel so good as this story started to get more and more real, as people started to believe in it more and more. It even started getting talked about on like the MSI broadcast and stuff, which was absolutely hilarious. So let's check out some things from this video, and we'll talk about Bwipo and his role swap a little bit, because it's absolutely crazy story. Crazy how far we've come from, this was 20 days ago where no one believed in this, to now it's actually happening, whether you believe it or not. So let's see what Fnatic has to say. There's a couple parts in this video I want to jump around to. This is a 12-minute video. If you want to check it out, go to the Fnatic YouTube channel. We're definitely not watching the whole thing. Used to be Fnatic top lane.
Tips for pathing in jungle.
I think Bwipo might be playing jungle, yeah.
You can go for different styles. You could go for kind of a myriad of champions for now. And just out of curiosity, Bwipo, what do you think about the jungle meta right now?
It looks pretty interesting. You're full clearing, as usual. However, the difference is that it does seem like you've got a little bit more scaling going on, which means going into team fights and whatnot. It does seem like a team fight competent player might be able to shine in the jungle.
Okay, very interesting.
It's happening. That is the big thing. They've been dropping hints for a while now. People have been speculating. The rumors have been there, and now it is happening. The part that I did enjoy most of these videos, they do have a little like press conference section where Bwipo, Hylissang, and Yamato all talk about what they think about Bwipo going to the jungle. So we'll skip to that real quick. Watch that for a little bit, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions throughout, because I think there is some really good quotes in here about this little change, this role swap going on.
New jungler for Team Fnatic. What are your thoughts on this?
I think in general, playing League of Legends is something that's pretty
Probably a little too
universal.
quiet.
I don't think playing one specific role takes so much more effort than another, at least at a competitive level. I think all competitive players should have some idea, if not be capable of playing every other role at a very high level. I believe that with the time I was given in the off-season, I would be able to reach a high enough level in the jungle that I could be one of the best, if not the best jungler in Europe by, if not the start of the split, at least the end of it.
So a couple big things I really want to talk about there. Bwipo talking about how he thinks a lot of people kind of overrate role swaps and how the game really isn't that different. And I definitely agree with that. So many people were like, oh, well, why doesn't Fnatic just go get an ERL jungler? There's no way Bwipo's going to be better than ERL junglers. And there is a way, because the competitive game at the highest level is so much about like being in the right position, making the right decisions. There's so much macro play that goes into it, and these macro decisions, like after 15-20 minutes, they start to not really matter what position you are. Like, yeah, there's little different things, you know, who's catching the side waves, you know, maybe you want your mid laner catching a certain wave or that type of stuff, but for the most part, you're moving as a team after like 15-20 minutes, and at that point, what position you are doesn't really matter outside of what champions you have to play. And Bwipo obviously has a big enough champion pool. If he is a guy who's been able to fit in to the LEC level and LEC style and professional competitive play, that could absolutely be so invaluable for him swapping a jungle. Yes, he needs to learn how to jungle. Yes, he needs to learn the first 5, 10, 15 minutes as a jungler, maybe change his champion pool a little bit. But then after that, he's pretty much playing the same game he always was. And the big thing here is now he has a lot more agency in the early game, which is something they go on to talk about, which is an absolutely huge thing. But yes, I am actually agreeing with Bwipo here that I think more players should probably role swap. If a certain position or something isn't working out for you, you know, I think a lot of North American mid laners who just kind of aren't good enough, I think would benefit from a role swap, trying to get you know, into the game in more ways. I think more people are able to play more positions than they give themselves credit for. So I do love that he said that, and he also said he thinks he has a chance to become the best, if not one of the best, junglers in the LEC by the end of the split, which is a big statement.
How did this change come about, and how do you feel about it as a coach?
As a coach, I always have to evaluate any strategical opportunity that I have, and having someone like Bwipo on the team is such a blessing, because all of a sudden there's so many doors that don't open up for you. Bwipo is, you know, he can write 15 books about League of Legends, about how much knowledge he has, and you know, naturally he is also a person that has role swapped in the past. So this is something that has been on everyone's mind. You know, I heard, you know, this is not something that's entirely new. He played AD carry in the past, he played top lane, and now jungle. I think his knowledge is something that covers every part of League of Legends. And the last time he played in close proximity with Hilly-san over there, then they won the split. So I think with that cooperation with Hilly, that's just a natural match.
Yeah, so Hilly.
Yeah, that's another big thing that I do think. One, awesome that Yamato's giving him kind of the confidence and speaking out about him well and highly. Obviously, that's awesome. The coach is down for it. Just having confidence in your players is going to give them an opportunity to hopefully play to the best of their abilities. We'll see what the best of Bwipo's abilities are. But then also the big thing there is that, yeah, now Bwipo and Hylissang are going to be linked up. They obviously have amazing synergy. They're on the same page about a lot of the things in game. But top lane and support, kind of hard to get together. Jungle and support, all of a sudden a lot easier to get together, a lot easier to start making a ton of big plays and stuff. Could be really good, could be really bad. You know, sometimes, you know, especially this last play, we saw Hylissang going for some not so great plays, but if they're able to find the right plays, cause chaos in the early game, that could be big for Fnatic.
Representing the players of Team Fnatic, the other players of Team Fnatic, how do you and your other teammates feel about this swap?
It's a good question.
Honestly, I think we were all quite open towards the idea, and we felt like Bwipo is probably more. I mean, even when he was top laner, he was kind of likes to roam a lot, and he doesn't really play his top lane role that much when he was playing it. He kind of likes to roam and gank people, even though he was a top laner. Obviously, teleport helped a lot, but I always felt like he was more made to roam them up just like I do and help the team as best as he can. Sadly, when he was top laner, he had to go back to his lane and farm, which was a lot of downtime for Fnatic, and that's why I think a few of the games were very slow, or like a lot of the games were very slow, because usually me and him will make chaos on the map. And the idea was brought up from coach, and it felt like it's a good shot, and he has always been playing off-road jungle, and it feels like it suits him well, and we were all quite open-minded. And yeah, the experience so far from scrims has been a pleasure to work with Bwipo in close proximity, and it just it's a lot of fun to have him around when he doesn't actually have to go to top lane, but he can farm where it's like golems or like Raptors that is close to the laners, and it's just so much fun to have him around.
So, obviously, a lot of good stuff there being said by Bwipo himself, having the confidence, being ready for something crazy like this. Yamato giving his word of confidence, and Hylissang saying that him and a lot of the other players are confident as well. And this is kind of something that we did see, Fnatic saying that now unleashed in the jungle role, we believe he can use his natural instincts for action and impact in a new crucial role. The jungle has never been wider. But then also we got word from Bwipo that said, I wouldn't have committed to such a change if the whole team wasn't behind the decision. I spoke with everyone individually, and all staff and players involved agreed that we could and will make it work. So this is a big thing here. Obviously, Perk's always going to chime in, always letting his opinion be known. He said, biggest question for me is, what is Bwipo's jungle alter ego? So we can drop Monka W in the chat. That'll be interesting to see how that all works out. But that is pretty much it for this video today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate if you did drop a like on this video. Helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. Now that it's official, what do you think about Bwipo jungle? Do you think he is going to be a great jungler, a good jungler, an okay jungler, a trash jungler? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!